Welcome to the Month in Review briefing. I'm meteorologist Dr. Stephan Beda, the climate focal point at the National Weather Service, Pendleton. This briefing will highlight the weather of November 2014 as well as the temperature and precipitation outlooks for the month of December 2014. This graphic is from the High Plains Regional Climate Center and shows a departure from normal temperatures for the month of November 2014. The time period for the normals is 1981 to 2010. A value of 0 would mean that the location reported a normal average temperature for the month of November. The Pacific Northwest reported near to below normal temperatures, with many locations reporting 2 to 4 degrees below normal for the month. The next graphic is also from the High Plains Regional Climate Center. This shows the percent of normal precipitation for the Northwest for the month of November 2014. A value of 100% means that the location reported their average monthly total precipitation. Areas in Central Oregon, as well as the Blue Mountains, reported above normal precipitation totals for the month, while the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys and the Lower Columbia Basin reported below normal precipitation totals. November 2014 had a few record-setting 24 and 48-hour snowfall totals that were in the top 5 for the month of November. This was due to a low-pressure system that set a warm front with ample moisture over a cold Arctic air mass between the 12th and the 15th. Heppner, Oregon reported its 5th highest November 24-hour snowfall total of 5 inches on November 14th, with 11 inches on November 20th, 1921 being the highest. Morrow, Oregon reported its 5th highest November 24-hour snowfall total of 5.5 inches on November 14th, with 12 inches on November 20th, 1921 being the highest. John Day, Oregon reported its 3rd highest November 24-hour snowfall total of 5.5 inches on November 15th, with 6.4 inches on November 5th, 1973 being the highest. John Day, Oregon also reported its highest ever November 48-hour snowfall total of 10.5 inches, which beat the previous record of 6.7 inches set on November 5th and 6th, 1973. La Grande, Oregon reported its 3rd highest November 24-hour snowfall total of 7 inches on November 14th, with 12 inches on November 30th, 1975 being the highest. Long Creek, Oregon reported its 3rd highest November 24-hour snowfall total of 5.7 inches on November 14th, with 9 inches on November 24th, 1981 being the highest. Pelton Dam, Oregon reported its 2nd highest November 24-hour snowfall total of 4 inches, with 5.5 inches on November 19th, 1978 being the highest. November 2014 was a very cold month across the region. An Arctic cold front moved across the area at the middle of the month, which, when combined with heavy snowfall, led to some record-breaking low temperatures which are either in the top 5 for the month of November or the coldest ever recorded in the month of November. Prineville, Oregon reported a record daily low temperature of 11 degrees below 0 set on November 17th. This was the 3rd coldest temperature for the month of November, with 15 degrees below 0 on November 3rd, 1935 being the coldest November temperature. Goldendale, Washington reported a record daily low temperature of 7 degrees below 0 on November 15th. This was the 2nd coldest temperature for the month of November, with 9 degrees below 0 on November 15th, 1955 being the coldest November temperature. Sisters, Oregon reported a record daily low temperature of 15 degrees below 0 on both November 15th and 17th. This was the 2nd coldest temperature for the month of November, with 16 degrees below 0 on November 24th, 1993 being the coldest November temperature. Meacham, Oregon reported a record daily low temperature of 16 degrees below 0 on November 15th. This broke the previous November record low of 12 degrees below 0 set on November 15th, 1955. Redmond, Oregon reported a daily record low temperature of 19 degrees below 0 on November 16th. This was the 2nd day in a row where the record coldest temperature for November was set, beating 17 degrees below 0 that had just been set the day before. Both Meacham and Redmond, Oregon set 3 of their respective top 5 coldest November temperatures ever recorded this year. Average minimum temperatures were quite cold across the region for the month of November due to two Arctic cold fronts and prolonged periods of snow being on the ground. Several weather stations reported their top 10 coldest average November temperature on record during November 2014. However, no new overall records were set due to the warm start early in November. Whitman, Washington reported its 10th coldest average November temperature, 38.8 degrees, with the coldest being 28.7 degrees in 1985. La Grande, Oregon reported its 9th coldest average temperature in November of 35.9 degrees, with the coldest being 26.4 degrees in 1985. Redmond, Oregon reported its 6th coldest average November temperature, 33.1 degrees, with the coldest being 27.8 degrees in 1985. Sisters, Oregon reported its 5th coldest average November temperature of 31 degrees, with the coldest being 26.6 degrees in 1978. Pelton Dam, Oregon reported its 4th coldest average temperature in November of 37.4 degrees, with the coldest being 31.5 degrees in 1985. Hermiston, Oregon reported its 2nd coldest average November temperature of 37.8 degrees, with the coldest being 34.2 degrees in the year 2000. Now we will turn our attention to the climate forecast for December 2014. This graphic is issued by the Climate Prediction Center, or CPC, and is the temperature outlook for the month of December. The cool colors indicate a greater chance of below normal temperatures, and the warm colors represent a greater chance of above normal temperatures. Time period for the normals runs from 1981 to 2010. The Pacific Northwest is forecast to have a greater chance of above normal temperatures for the month of December. This graphic is CPC's precipitation outlook for the month of December. The green colors represent a greater chance of above normal precipitation, and the brown colors represent a greater chance of below normal precipitation. The region is forecast to have a greater chance of above normal precipitation. Please remember that these are the probabilities of averages and that the day-to-day weather will still vary for the month of December. This concludes our briefing. Please continue to visit National Weather Service web pages for the latest weather information, including watches, warnings, and advisories. Thank you for your time.